Hello, everybody. Father Scott Vanderveer here. And this time we're going to talk a little bit about the part of the book of Exodus where our ancestors received for the first time what we call the covenant at Sinai, Mount Sinai, the place where, through Moses, God gave us the commandments. The covenant at Sinai is a promise that God would be with us always, and that God's presence would be palpable the more we kept 10 guidelines for life. These 10 guidelines were intended to be like operating instructions from the manufacturer. They were meant to help us to know how we were designed, and that a lot of the things that we might be inclined to think were normal or healthy or optional were actually, because of the manufacturer's design of us, intended to be done in a particular way. And that there were certain things that might feel appropriate that in the end would be destructive. Kind of like how you never put diesel fuel into an unleaded tank. It's just not possible to run a non-diesel engine on diesel fuel. And so it's impossible for people who are made by God to find happiness if anything other than God is their top allegiance. The first commandment, I'm the Lord your God. Don't foolishly have other things before me. You weren't designed for that. You won't be happy. Another thing that we know is that important things need to be treated as important, and minor things need to not be made into mountains. God says, don't make mountains into molehills, and don't allow molehills to become mountains. Don't take things like the name of the Lord your God in vain. Don't take important things vainly. Let important things be important. And things that are frivolous be unimportant. The third thing, you were made to work 6 days and have a day of rest. Human beings are like any mechanical thing. You can't run your dishwasher 24 hours a day and expect it not to break. You can't leave a fan or a television running without it showing wear and tear before long. You can't allow any engine or motor to run without stopping. The great author Anne Lamott says, one of the very simple rules of life is that almost everything that's not functioning well will start to work if you just unplug it and let it sit for a while before plugging it back in. And then she adds, including you. Makes sense, right? We need to unplug. When we unplug and we give ourselves a break, suddenly we start functioning better. Another thing that God knows about us, we can't be happy if we forget to respect the past. We can't let us lose track of the ideals that we were given in childhood of how to live nobly and beautifully as a member of our family and as a member of God's family. We can't possibly disrespect our parents and feel good about ourselves. We have to honor our father and our mother, even when our parents are imperfect. Sometimes honoring them doesn't mean being in close communication with them every day, but certainly we know that outside of situations of abuse, being disconnected from our family of origin causes a lot of suffering. There are times when we have been abused and need to stay distant for our own safety or for our own wellness, but those times are rare. God knows that life is precious, so God says, you can't kill life without killing a part of yourself. You can't give yourself physically to another without the commitment of a lifelong bond, that's not good for you. Promiscuity in all of its forms is not good for you. Sexual intimacy can't be recreational. It's not engineered that way by our Maker. It requires the participation of our soul, whether we want it to or not. God gives us commandments that let us know that we can't steal. We can't take things that are not ours without it leaving an indelible mark on us, without it causing us struggle and suffering, without it degrading us. We can't say untrue things as if they are true without causing ourselves great disrespect, without degrading the value of our word. We can't live happy lives if they are spent wishing we had what belongs to others and comparing the lives of others to our own life and feeling like we don't measure up. We know that we cannot look at each other's loved ones and wish that we were the ones that were the most important in their lives. We cannot be the center of everyone's life. We have to have appropriate boundaries in our relationships. If we were to live by these general guidelines that are given to us by our Maker, we're going to function well. We're going to feel the way people feel when their diet is balanced and healthy, when they're getting the right amount of nutrients in their body. We're going to feel the way that you feel when you have the right balance of rest and nutrition and exercise. Because there's certain things that bodies objectively like and other things that bodies objectively reject. And our bodies and our souls were given to us by a Maker who knows better than we do how they function best. So, following the operating instructions leads to a much happier life. And when we realize that we're in alignment with God's plans for us, suddenly the energy and joy of life starts to flow perfectly through the vessels that we are. What a great gift the covenant at Sinai was to us. What a wonderful opportunity for us to appreciate anew all that God has done and is doing in our lives. Thank you for being with me on this journey. May God bless you and all those you love, now and always.